Hello everybody, this is Gabriel with a crypto update. We have some interesting things going on right now. Let's have a quick look here. I mean, as you know, I'm a long-term bull with cryptocurrencies, but I think we're seeing now a deep pullback. We can best see it here on the weekly chart. Like price had this huge run up, right? It went from 10,000. That was the long-term buy signal back then in July 20. So we had a huge run up from 10,000 to above 50,000. It went to 65,000 per Bitcoin. And after this run up, well, that's a one leg momentum move, right? This cannot be sustained forever. So what we're seeing now is, well, we're in pullback mode, and the pullback, well, the ideal target goes into this rectangle, and ideally I would actually like to see a test of the 200 moving average and even a spike, and that could cluster as well here with the last bull high from the last exponential up leg here, end of 2017, which was around at 20,000. So if price comes back down here, there would actually be a great pullback and very healthy in this overall uptrend that we can see here on the monthly chart. We haven't yet touched the 21 since this long-term buy signal here at 10,000, and well, healthy trends actually come back to the 21 moving average repeatedly. If you don't come back to the 21, well, you might get an exhaustion and then they fall apart completely. So I'm very happy actually that we see a pullback. Well, if you trade cryptocurrencies, pullbacks are massive, right? We're talking here already now from 65, it went down to 30, so it more than halved by now. And if it pulls back even more, well, we could lose like 2/3, right, of the value. Not talking about altcoins that have already lost quite a bit of those. They have already lost 75% of value. So that's how cryptocurrencies, that's the volatility of cryptocurrencies. So that's basically screaming short here, right? I'm very bearish on the medium term, like for the next couple of weeks and months. After this big sell-off, we only had a shallow pullback. We didn't even touch the 21, right? So the 8 moving average is not such a strong resistance on the overall way down, but it was sufficient here. Weak touch and rejection, and now it's basically squeezed between the 8 and the 50, the red moving average. And we see how, I mean, these were wicks, right, that were testing the 50. Now this bar was the first bar like last week that had a bar close below the 50, and now it looks like we have, well, the week has just started, so now we have to see how that weekly bar ends. But it's basically screaming short. What we see here on the monthly as well, price has dropped within the 821 moving average band. That's very important, and we can see how the bar body, it's basically squeezed here at the upper part of the band at the 8. We've got the next bar body. Well, now we're dropping to the 50, so it's like a magnet level, and we might even drop lower than that. Now here on the daily chart, oh, that was the first sell-off, big wick, rejection bar, and we had another sell-off here. Let's just bring that to full size. We had another sell-off here that broke this wick, right? Well, it recovered, and we basically got a double bottom. But again here, the pullback is super shallow, right? We only touch the 21 slightly. It's a test of 21. We had another test of 21 here. That was a sell signal. Now we got another sell signal based on the turtle pattern. And now we're running for stops. I mean, that's a very strong stop run level. And we have just taken out this one here. We have to see whether we get momentum. I've marked this with an alarm, and I want to know when this is broken, because then we should actually see something like this, another big sell-off. That's what I'm expecting. All this is a consolidation, right? And consolidations are typically trend following, so we might expect a measured move of that type, and then prices will drop into the rectangle we had seen before. Now let's have a look here at this chart here at the daily. This is a daily chart. So basically what we can say as well, well, that's a double bottom, right? And there was actually the possibility that this is a double bottom and that this basically marks at the end of the consolidation. Well, it doesn't look like now, right? It more looks like we're making a new low. And we have to see, I mean, the bulls have been confident to catch that, although this wick had been broken. So bulls have been confident to buy in. Well, they've been confident to buy in here. Whenever you see big wicks, rejection bars, or we see confident buyers, here they've been confident, and here and here and here and here, and that well, I believe we are in a phase of institutional market expansion, and these are institutional buyers, because this was a huge sell-off, a liquidation of the small hands. And so institutional buyers are basically accumulating here long. And we have to see, I mean, it's not like if institutions are accumulating that this is where it's going to hold. Well, they might be wrong, right? It might break and go much lower. If you've got a big position to fill, I mean, it's really difficult, right, to not move the market. And they're using these type of events like panic selling to actually buy big chunks of what their book tells them. So now let's see when the confident bulls come in again. Will it be much lower, or will it basically turn out to be a triple bottom, which is possible too. So right now we're coming very close here to a couple of stop run levels. Here, these gray lines. Well, the first one has been taken out, and let's see how far we go. We've got sell patterns here, and that just gives me the confidence that we're actually seeing. Or we had some other patterns here on lower time frames. That just gives me the confidence that we're actually dropping here, right? And we could drop like a stone, like we have dropped here with a big weekly, or a row of big weekly bars into this magnet area, and it would be very healthy on the longer term perspective, actually. And this is a consolidation. That was a prior momentum move, so we're expecting something similar coming out of this consolidation, like we've seen here, right? This is not over yet, but after this big up run, we need a big down run, basically. And this is what we're seeing. It's very healthy. I'm a long-term bull, but we might actually drop hard, and we might lose 50% of the value of Bitcoin more from current levels. And well, that's obviously a great buying opportunities for those that have not been invested yet, or for those that have sold after once this drop has happened. So that's a great re-entry opportunity when prices are much lower. So we're looking here at Bitcoin, right? I mean, the altcoin charts, they look much worse, right? Most of them, they have lost value much more, and they offer hence much more opportunities as well. Always altcoins are more risky than the more established and the more liquid ones, like a Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they have lost value even more. So there are great opportunities up there, and if you know how to trade, very extreme market situations like this. Let's say we get a big black bar going down here. Well, if you know how to trade these aggressive sell-offs, well, then it's a great opportunity you should actually catch. So another reason why I think there should be another sell-off is that I'm believing in the rule of three. I mean, three is very strongly connected to the rules. I'm trading with my parents, and I can see the rule of three as well with the precious metals. So let's have a look here now at the total liquidations of Bitcoin, right? We see here a liquidation spike, so that's panic selling. That was the around 21st of April, and then we had another spike around 18th of May. 21st of April and 18th of May. So 21st of April, it's basically here, this sell-off created a big panic selling, And then we've got the next panic selling, obviously was down here. So we might actually see, and that's what I expect, because it's a rule of three, that we get another panic selling. Well, this has not happened yet, right? We should see a big green bar like this. However, if we go here into the some shorter time frames, well, we can see how that has already started. This goes back basically here. That's a week, right? And we can see how the selling panic starts. If we look a week back, and as well, if we look, let's see, if we look a couple of, well, that's 2 weeks back as well, right? We see panic selling, squeezing. Small hands are getting squeezed, especially the leveraged ones. The longs need to get out of their positions, and they get liquidated by the broker because they don't have sufficient margin. So that's panic selling, and we won't actually see that. In order to clean out the market, there would be a great opportunity actually to clean out the market. The weak hands are shaken off and the strong hands are taken over. The question is just where and when does it happen? I just believe that here we're not seeing a triple bottom. I believe that will be much lower, and it should rather be somewhere here, right, at this quadrant. That's nothing new. I've been saying that already back here. It's just a measured move coming out of this consolidation. The longer the consolidation establishes, the more bars there are in a consolidation, well, the more energy is stored. And what we have here is a pattern. It's an S2 pattern within an S1 pattern. So that's double pressure. That adds even more energy into this overall consolidation. And we should actually see a big run down coming out of this double pressure. We've got a really strong stop run level. Big wicks are great levels. And okay, well, let's talk about this quickly. So this was another, well, these were the last long signals, right, based on system 1. And the base levels here, the flat lines, well, these are very important lines, psychological lines. That's the that's the blood trail in the snow, right? And you can extend that this blood trail, and it still remains active. That's what we've been seeing here, selling into this area, right? And this area is getting basically, I mean, if snow falls, you don't see the blood line, the blood anymore, right? And that's basically what happens. The emotions of this trap, it's a double trap. So the emotion get eaten away, and then you don't see it anymore. So that's what's happening here, right? So we're basically going through this. Enough snow has fallen here, and now, well, that's an important level. That's another important stop run level. So now, if the red line gets passed, well, first we have to trigger this wick. A stop run level. Well, if that gets triggered, then we get momentum to this one. This is another stop run level here, which is this week low of this pattern. Well, if we pass through this this level, then we should actually see how big bars come up, big red bars, and how then as well here, well, these bars get much bigger, and we're looking for as big a bar as that. Which fulfills the rule of three. Thank you.